Husk is brought to you by ABI Global. A better tomorrow, a better you. Find out more at anacondabiotech.com.
I like Anaconda at dawn. It's quiet. Rundown houses built to the edges of their lot so that their walls are only inches apart, empty storefronts, and a few cars on the street. Everything is condensed and touching, like if everyone spread out into the vast, flat expanse of the area, Anaconda would cease to exist. Like that the very fiber that keeps this community together is at risk of breaking apart at any minute if someone moves just a few miles away. Instead, the few people that live here huddle together. Their walls in town almost touch. No privacy, but a comfort that someone else is always there and that you're both there if you need them. It's not quite a ghost town, but it's definitely on life support. The Washaway Theater, with its marquee proudly declaring the current movie, singular. Not too much demand for variety around these parts. If I had my wallet, I'd go hide out in there for most of the day. Beats the cold. Even if I had to watch the same animated film about superheroes on repeat. Family-friendly, with wholesome Christian values littered throughout an exciting action film. Across the street from the theater is the town square. A couple of locals told me that the square is where they used to have the ice rink in the winter. They say it with such pride, like they're still caught in the days when this was a prominent mining town. Now the square is just empty. Still. People will wake up in a few hours and start going on with their day. It won't make any difference, though. There isn't much to do around here. Mostly it's cars passing in and out, sustaining the few restaurants that have managed to stay open over the years. Down the street, there's a mural on the side of the building that reads, "Historic Anaconda, where Main Street meets the mountains." This place has seen more vibrant days, back when Main Street actually meant something. There's a deer on the front of one of the lawns nearby. It just stares me down. Then it goes back to examining a disemboweled sink lying helplessly on the frozen ground. It's so cold. I rub my hands together for warmth before sticking them back in my pockets. I hope Rebecca makes it here soon. You're listening to Husk.
My family didn't deserve to be involved in this ABI mess. Kathy always trusted me. Stupid Martin. Stupid Martin. Stupid Martin. It wasn't supposed to be like this. I quit. I left that life behind me. Should have known that it wouldn't be so easy to get out, though. Kathy knew. She always knows these things. I remember when I first told her about the job. Kathy, it'll be an amazing opportunity. The pay will be better and I'll be working on something big. With their resources, I'll have the opportunity to change the world. Don't you want that for me? This is what I've always dreamed of doing.
But you'll be gone all the time, Martin. We have a baby on the way. What then? I mean, don't you want to see her grow up? I don't want to have to call you and give you an update when she takes her first steps or says her first words.
It means security. It means that you could quit your job and spend all your time with the baby. We'd get ahead in the world and have less stress.
Quit my job? Martin, you hadn't mentioned that before.
Just think about it. You'd have all that time to spend with our little doodle.
Doodle?
That's what I've been calling her in my head. I don't know. I think it's kind of cute. Don't you?
I guess. Are you sure you want to do this? Do you understand what kind of commitment it is to work for a company like that? They're going to want 100% of your time, Martin. It'll never be enough for them. You'll be working all day, every day. When we decided to have a baby, you promised that you'd be here with me. Sure, it'll be a struggle financially, but we can make ends meet. I just found a new circular for coupons, and I think there are some real savings there. I can keep my job. Maybe we can even split childcare with Olga. You don't have to do this. We'll make it work.
Just think about how much better our lives would be. We wouldn't have to worry anymore. You could pursue your passion, spend more time with our daughter. We wouldn't have to leave her in daycare. Think of all the free time you'd have for the things that you could do. I'd be doing this for both of us.
First of all, a child is anything but free time. And I love my job. I get to work with kids and wildlife.
But how long can that last? When the baby's born, we're going to be stretched too thin. We're going to be exhausted. You know what their slogan is? Marching forward towards a better tomorrow. That's all I want. A better tomorrow for us, our daughter, and for the world. I want her to live in a better world than the one that we grew up in. A world free of disease, a world where science can solve all our major problems.
Martin.
Will you at least think about it? Let me just try it.
It sounds like you've already accepted the job in your head. So I guess we'll make it work. Just make sure that you don't miss the big moments. I didn't sign up to be a single mother. You hear me? And I'm not quitting my coupons just because we're coming into some money. We're not becoming one of those wasteful families that buys full-priced yogurt at the grocery store. Not in a million years. We're sensible people.
You've got it. I should have listened to Kathy. It was nothing like they said it would be. I was told that I'd be changing the world, that I'd be making things a bit better for everyone. I was told I'd have plenty of home time and that I'd never miss an important moment raising my daughter. They told me what I wanted to hear and I bought it. And worse, I never did anything about it. Kathy held up her end of the bargain. She left the job she loved at the Audubon Society in order to dedicate herself to raising Rebecca. She clipped coupons every day and stopped us from ever buying anything that wasn't on special. I missed her first Halloween, her first steps, and Christmas. Not to mention countless other moments. I was thrust into a world of ambition and all-consuming research.
Welcome to your first day at Anaconda Biotech Industries Global. As you are well aware, you've been hand-selected by our board of directors because your brains and talent are unmatched. Together, we are looking forward to many discoveries that will change the world. Your specialities may be unique, but our goal is the same: to advance the limits of humankind. Now, before I get started, does anyone have any questions? No? Wonderful. Let's get started on the tour.
The facility was world-class. Stainless steel and sterile surfaces. Equipment most firms can only dream of. Glass everywhere. In every room, some of the greatest minds of our generation were debating the very scientific principles that we take for granted today. I recognized the faces of my contemporaries from the other grad programs. Experts featured in TV documentaries, and the people that wrote the textbooks that I'd studied a few years ago while getting my PhD. It was exciting. All of them were gathering in one place. They led me from room to room, introducing me to the facility. We even went by the coffee machine. It was this shiny machine, top of the line, with the same shitty coffee as any other office machine, down to the coffee grounds floating in the bottom of our cups. Right next to it was a vending machine with full meals. There was a bold handwritten button that read, "Tea, Earl Grey, hot." Even the world's greatest minds can't resist a bit of Star Trek humor. Figures, right?
On your left, you'll see the main offices. The larger equipment and tanks are underground. We'll get there later. Let's get you your ID badge. Please wear this at all times when you move around the facility to identify yourself to your peers. If you lose it, please report it immediately to your supervisor. And if you see someone without a badge, be sure to alert security. This is of the utmost importance. Do not try to confront them. The company has standardized procedures to deal with security incidents. Now, let's take a moment to talk about other rules and procedures. At the beginning of today, you signed a non-disclosure agreement. In addition to the normal elements of an NDA, keeping your findings and research confidential and secret, there's a bit more. This facility is kept under a bit of lock and key. Due to the nature of our research, we like to keep ourselves sequestered from town. You may go into Anaconda, but please never discuss the nature of our presence or our research facility. ABI prefers to keep people as far away from the facility as possible. As far as they know, we are an R&D company for cattle rearing efficiency. So if you see a cow or two wandering the grounds, don't be alarmed. We need to have them around from time to time to help our cover story seem a bit more believable. With the mines shutting down, our cover stories are limited, and we don't want the locals asking too many questions about our presence. We'll be providing each of you with a short manual on cattle rearing efficiency so that you can make your way through a conversation if you're caught in a bind. Whatever you do, please attempt to blend in. Well, now that we've gotten that out of the way, I'll take you to your lab and you can get started on some of your research. Your partner is already there working.
Yeah, about that. I've been meaning to ask you who I'll be working with.
Martin.
Deborah, there's got to be some mistake. Am I in the wrong lab?
Lab 17B, this is you. I see that you've already met your research partner, Dr. Deborah Raxton. I'll leave you two to get settled.
No. Did she put you up to this? There's got to be a room next door. Can't you put me on some other project? Any other project? I have other skills. I'll literally work on anything you want.
Is this pairing going to be an issue? If so, I can draw up some paperwork. We hired you for very specific purposes, though, so one of you, of course, would have to go.
Now, Martin, that's no way to treat an old friend.
All right, well, I'll leave you to it. Please let me know immediately should the arrangement become problematic. We like to get out in front of these sorts of issues before they come to a head.
No, we'll be fine. I'm sure that he's just surprised to see me, that's all. How long has it been, Martin? 3, maybe 4 years?
Something like that.
I'm not going to lie. I'm surprised to see you here, Martin. Never thought Kathy would let you out of Portland.
Let's keep it professional, Deborah. I don't like this any more than you do, but we've done it before. We can do it again. We're both adults here.
I suppose so. Shall we get started? I have a few new ideas how we can finally get viral vectors to be more compatible in the long run. You do remember how to splice things together, right? Or am I going to have to reteach you absolutely everything?
Show me what you got. I hated Deborah. Ever since we'd been stuck together in the same lab during our PhD work at the University of Chicago, we had academic and personal disagreements. Not just occasionally, every single day. She was just terrible to be around. No matter what situation we were in, she'd always try to bring the conversation back around to progress. She didn't care if people in the room were trying to relax. I always tried to be nice and even invite her to things every so often, but it always backfired in some strange way. There was no getting away from the progress talk. It was exhausting. And that's how we broke the lab centrifuge.
Of course, but don't forget to mention that we made some real strides that day. Did you tell them about the Husk development? We're almost to the point where we figured out how they use a combination of external and endogenous genetic therapy. We're about to hit a whole new stage in our research.
Not right now, Deborah.
Just don't make it sound like we don't do work in here. We're making so much progress.
Yeah, tons of progress. Anyway, Jim! I've heard your lab has been getting into some mischief. What did I hear about you setting off all the fire alarms again last week? Don't tell me. Terry got it in his head to set the trash can on fire again.
Well, to be fair, it wasn't technically a fire, and it did make sense at the time.
Everything makes sense when you're 6 drinks deep on a Tuesday.
Happens to the best of us.
I'll say.
As long as we're perpetuating business-related drinking, anyone up for some margaritas?
Wait, I'm sorry to be that guy, but did you just use your worm blender to mix the margaritas?
Yeah, but don't worry, I cleaned it out beforehand. It's totally A-OK. No worms in sight. Sterilized and everything to lab standards. You've got nothing to worry about.
It's still a worm blender, though.
But it's a sterile worm blender. I got it ready for the party earlier today. It even had time to dry beforehand. Totally fine. I'm having one and it's great.
Thanks, but I think I'm going to take a hard pass on the worm guts. Thanks anyway, though.
Oh, that's okay. I understand. More for me, I guess. You'd really enjoy it, though. I got really nice tequila and stuff. I'm just saying. Come on, guys, don't let me down now.
She was awkward, and had she not been so darn mean to me through grad school, I probably would have thrown her a lifeline in social situations. Could have been nicer, but can't get caught up in that right now. Plus, it's hard to want to help someone out when they spend the entire workday peering over your shoulder and scrutinizing scientific procedures that you've been doing correctly since you were 17. I haven't been back to Anaconda since I left ABI. Not that anyone really goes to Anaconda without a reason. It's not exactly the type of place you go on family vacations. More like pass-through country, if anything at all. I hope that I'd never be back. I was wrong on that front.
$45, $46. I've driven past 46 little white roadside crosses in the past 3 hours. A couple of them were doubles. A lot of religious drunk drivers around these parts. They must be Jesus take the wheel kind of folk. Or maybe it's just moose running out of the woods. I probably shouldn't make jokes. Oh well, I've been driving for 11 hours straight and have my eyes propped open like Ulysses. It makes sense that my verbal filter is a little worse for wear.
God damn it. These potholes are everywhere. Who the hell fills in the potholes around here? I swear, the universe doesn't want me to make it to this place in one piece. Wait. No. We're not gonna lose it now. I'm so close. Okay, Rebecca. Let's calm down. You're just tired and nervous. Turn on the radio and chill.
As I'm going down with my brother.
Can't hide it away in some China hutch for all eternity. Its day will come. The day always comes. Now, you gonna ask me the question or no? You're too kind and too polite to not be wanting something.
I don't know why, but I can't stop listening to this weird show. Well, everyone's gotta have a guilty pleasure. Guess mine's Southern comedies. I keep driving towards Anaconda, each mile taking me a bit closer to Dmitri. Further from home, closer to answers. It's a beautiful country out here, and in any other circumstances I'd have a great time looking around. This part of Montana is so flat, you can see for miles around you. Random cows meandering around fields. You know, cows are supposed to have best friends, right? Like they form these little social groups and actually hang out with one another? Reddit's usually good for a couple of nice cow facts. Anyway, I slowly drive into Anaconda, past a large cyclone fence with signs wired on every 40 feet or so that say property of ABI. Keep out. It blocks off an entire empty field with a couple of weird concrete structures. There's one stray cow just meandering around the field, eating stray bits of grass that are growing in the cracks between the earth and the concrete. Right outside of Anaconda, there's a huge slag pile that must be one of the remnants of the mining days. In bold letters carved out from the sediment, "Will you marry me, Marie?" is written in uneven, slanting letters. Seems like the type of thing that a lovesick senior in high school would do for his sweetheart. I cringed just a little bit, but honestly, who am I to judge? I just
keep on driving. There's a large smelting stack off in the distance on the other side of town. Another reminder of the mining days that have come and gone. It looks like an ominous beacon. It's a little too Isengard for my taste, to be honest. Just keep going. I drive into town. It's cute. Small, empty storefronts and houses with shutters all boarded up. 30 years ago, this must have been a great place to live. Now, not so much. I get to a mural in the center of town. And there he is, sitting there waiting for me. I pull up beside him.
Hey there, stranger.
Dmitri! You're here! I thought you were gone for good.
You can't get rid of me that easily.
Hey, jump in. You gotta be freezing.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, I can't feel my toes right now.
Here, take this.
Aw, you brought my sweatshirt. No hot chocolate? Husk is a production of ABI Global, written and produced by Emma Brown and Sean Abplanalp, associate producer Elliott Jacobson. For a full list of cast, go to huskpodcast.com.